Welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown,
the unofficial sumo podcast
for official sumo fans. All right, welcome to Grand Sumo Breakdown. This is Jake.
And this is Mac.
And in the lead up to the Vegas North American Sumo Championships 2021, we're trying to get some interviews in. Today, we have Caleb Baccus from Mighty Eagle Sumo. How are you doing today, Caleb?
I'm doing great, guys. How y'all doing?
We are
Surviving.
doing fantastic. Okay, apparently I'm doing better than Mac.
It's cold up here, man. The wind's howling. It's cold.
I've already taken the dogs for a walk. You don't get to complain. So hopefully warmer there down in Texas. But yeah, we just wanted to catch up, like I said, in the lead up to the North American Championships. Caleb, so yeah, you're going to be there. You're going to be competing. You bringing anybody else from Mighty Eagle?
Yes, we're mainly bringing a lot of the women. We got Nicole Burgess. She's going to show up. She got fourth in nationals in women's heavyweight. She also won the Women's Open in Houston recently. Second place in nationals and middleweight was Simone Lounge. She's showing up too, which I'm excited to see because in this tournament and in the World Games, they're going to combine middle and light heavy. So I want to see how she does. That's in guys and girls. They're combining both of them. So it's like 40 pounds in there. And sadly, I might bring a newbie too. Not sadly, but sadly, we're going to lose.
No, really? Wait, whoa. Sadly.
I mean, sadly, we're not going to have Jessica. So we might be bringing a girl named Elizabeth Salazar. She might be a newbie here for the lightweights. And anyone else? Oh, Ketzel's coming. Ketzel won the nationals in lightweights, and she's going to be showing up for that one too. I might be the only guy. Yeah, I think I am. I mean, there's going to be some other Mighty Eagles coming, like Brandon Alexander's coming, but he's in Kansas City now, so he's training with Robert up there, and so I can't wait to see how well he does. I bet training with one of the best heavyweights in the nation, it's got to make you better, you know?
Yeah.
There's no way
That would help, definitely.
Robert's the guy who's got his own nickname tattooed on him, so you know he means business, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Samoan Bulldozer.
Samoan Bulldozer. I've gone against that guy. I'm a big guy, and I've hit people before, and I hit him, and he didn't budge, and I was like,
Oof.
what? And then he pushed me down, and oh man, he's one of the strongest people I've ever been in contact with in my life.
Yeah. That's awesome. Well, yeah, we're looking forward to seeing you guys there. What kind of preparation have you guys been doing as a team?
It's been mostly knowledge based more than anything, because the training stayed basically the same. What we've been mostly working on is working on little techniques that you don't usually do, because most of the time the training in all sumo is, you know, hit somebody, drive, knock them out. That is sumo down to the core. You know, you get your head and your hands in there, 3 points, and drive.
That part's not necessarily complicated, right?
No. It's not complicated, but it's the thing you work most of the time on. So what we've been working on is little things, because there's a lot of times when you hit someone to the edge and hit that tawara and they're just not going anywhere, and that's when you pull. And if you can pull and then you push again, and that's what it's really hard for people to do. I don't know why, but for some reason you push and then you pull and then you push again. Your brain says, okay, so what should I do now, instead of just reacting? And so
deal with that coordination, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so that's mainly pushing and pulling is a huge part of it. And I know that everybody likes the throws and the pretty things, but that's just not, I mean, most of the time it's pushing and pulling. They are pretty. I'm not saying anything. I mean, you know, leg pick is gorgeous.
Ooh, okay. And Ashitori is pretty. I'll admit that.
Yeah, but pushing and pulling, that's where most of it's going to happen. That's where, you know, 80% of the wins and victories are going to happen.
It's by no means easy, but it's also not necessarily super complicated sometimes, right?
Yeah. The hardest thing is timing and keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep moving.
Absolutely. Well, no, that's pretty cool. You guys have one of the best trainers out there. You got Sensei Tom, literally wrote the book that's on my shelf. I imagine a student like you has it handy as well. Yours,
always nearby.
yours is probably a little bit more worn than ours, but
it is.
but yeah. So Sensei Tom coming along to Vegas as well, or you guys just been working with him there in Texas?
No, he loves going. Plus, you know, the nationals, they usually like him to do to be the ref, the goji, because there's not a lot of people in the United States who do it right now. I wish there were, but there's maybe like 4 people who really do it. And it'd be nice to get more people, but I've been trying. But usually when people stop doing sumo, they just stop doing sumo. They don't.
Oh, sure. So if you retire from the ring, you know, maybe that's
we're done.
Okay.
Now everybody's going to coaching or reffing or staying in it forever. The people who do are the people who do, you know, goji stuff. So he usually shows up to almost all the big things just so they need someone to do it. And he's usually the head because he's been doing it the longest.
So is that how you
30 plus years.
Sorry. Is that how you got into it? Did you run into Sensei Tom and then it's like, oh, I kind of like this guy. Sumo sounds kind of fun. Is that what drew you into sumo?
That's most people, like Jessica Hopper. That's how she got into it. But no, for me, I wanted to do sumo since 1992. Since 1992, I've been wanting to do sumo. But I couldn't find any place to do it in America. I mean, when I got excited when I first saw it on ESPN, it was 92. I remember clearly because it was the first time. I mean, back in the 90s, you got up and you watched when you were a young teenager, like 13 and stuff. You watched Sports Center every morning. That's kind of what you did. And they started showing the sumo stuff, and you see this guy Akibono who's going to be Yokozuna, and everybody gets all excited, and they showed it all the time back then. Not all the time, but like they showed the highlights, and I was like, well, how do I learn how to do this? California. That's how you can learn. You go to California and Hawaii. And I was like, I don't want to leave Texas. Is there a way I can do it?
I'm dedicated, but I don't really want to move.
Yeah. So for fast forward a long time, I just kept looking for it almost every year. Usually around November, I always looked for it. And then one year, I find it on something called Meetup.com, and it was there because sometimes when you search USA Sumo or Sumo near me, either comes up with the big plastic suits that everybody in sumo hates. We have a place called Sumo Steakhouse, so they always bring that up. Or it goes to California again for USA Sumo. And then I finally found him, and I went over, and oh my God, he was 2 exits away from me for 10 years. That's where he was training. I could have been doing this for 10 years longer than I've done before. I've done now.
Oh,
man. It drove me crazy. But yeah, and so that's when I showed up one day. I was just nervous as hell, and I showed up, and there's at the time there's 10 people in the club, and I came in and I beat the crap out of almost everybody.
No,
actually, yeah, you'll love this. So I beat up 6 guys in a row, including Justin Kizzard. Other guys, and then the smallest, skinniest guy shows up. His name is Justin Ridling. He is a Dan rank or black belt, one of the few in the United States at the moment. And he's 160 pounds, scrawny little guy. And I was like, okay, well, I just beat all these other guys. And
I'm invincible. I'm the boss right now.
It's what are you going to do? You're a snack, man.
He takes a step over, hits me right underneath my arm, right here. And I stood up, and he drives me out. And I was like, I actually fell in love with sumo right then when this 160-pound guy beat me. And I was like, I had to find out how to do this better than what I'm doing. I can't just hit people like this. I got to do this. So that's how I came. And ever since, every day, I train sumo. Every week I go to the class, and I learn.
Awesome.
Yeah, so
that's where I got into it.
That's hilarious. But you'd been watching sumo like that whole time, right? You've been following for 30 years now?
Yeah, it was kind of hard. It was kind of hard after the early 2000s because give me just a second, okay, guys? Give me just a second.
Sure. Sounds like he's got a kitty.
Yep. Or
just that because I closed the door.
Of course.
She's in here now. It'll be fine.
If you've watched the show, we don't take kindly to any and all sorts of animals. No, animals are
cat
don't worry
right
about
there
that.
in my window. Yeah.
So it was so when the the Americans started retiring and the Mongolians started taking over, like ESPN stopped showing it. They stopped showing it on ESPN2. They stopped showing it on SportsCenter. And for a good 8 to 10 years, it was really hard. And then like around 2016 or 17, thanks to the internet and YouTube and stuff, I got to start watching that. Man, I never got to watch full tournaments before. It was usually like the last day or sometimes a random day. And so, most of the time it was just highlights that I got. And now that I can watch every day, it's exciting. Heck,
yeah.
Now Sumo starts putting on like the younger guys. It's like watching double and triple A baseball.
The Jurio and below.
So great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's more sumo now. This is so fantastic. I'm so happy about this. For a long time fan, this is great. I love what's happening and making me so happy. More content, the better.
Yeah. It's getting to the point where it's almost like there's so much out there, you almost have to like pick and choose what you got to watch, you know,
right? Because there's sometimes I can't watch Jurio like 15 days straight. Usually, I don't have time.
Oh, I know, Kitty.
She's spoiled sometimes. But you know, I try to do my best. And golly, I love it. I love that I get all this tournament. Yeah, it's great. I love tournaments. I love the fact that we get so much sumo content now. I still want more. I don't think I'm ever going to be satisfied.
We're definitely
like a 24-hour sumo channel like the NFL Network or something starts doing this.
Well, hey, when you start it, make sure to give us a call. You know, we might have some material for you. Oh man. But yeah, so I'm curious, back to like your sumo and your wrestling, your experience and stuff like that. What, I just out of curiosity, how would you describe your own style of sumo?
Masu is probably the guy I try to do the most, where I'm either pushing or I try to get my arm underneath someone and lift them like this and then drive. I don't know. I'm in a camera here. I don't know if I'm doing
I know what you're doing.
But that's probably how I do most of it. Justin Kizzer keeps trying to tell me that I can wrestle. I'm quick enough on my feet and I can wrestle like a small person. If I wrestle like a small person against big people, I'd probably win more. So I've been trying to go to that, but it's hard because when you're in practice, there's not a lot of guys as big as me in practice. And so like most of the time I'm not even going as hard as I can. And I don't do any special moves or anything because you don't want to just beat the crap out of everybody you practice against because you want them to get better too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, and you want them to be there tomorrow.
Exactly. It's like, but come back. Like, I don't want to destroy you. Come back.
Yeah, because if you just push someone out, I mean, they're gonna be like, well, what do I do? But if I wrestle people, then they're gonna be like, okay, and it gets them
a little more reactive.
Yeah, they start getting better and they start actually giving me a challenge, and that's fun. But yeah, that's me. I mean, you'll see some throws on me from me. But most of the time, if I can push you out, I'm going to push you out because I enjoy that a lot. There's a move called the Waridashi. It's probably my favorite winning technique. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it correctly. It looks like most of the time if you see it, you're just going to think it's a Yurikiri because you have your hand on the belt and you have your hand up in their chest or something like that. And when you get them toward the edge of the ring, you're going to pull in with your belt and at the same time push with your hand. And it does this like motion real quick. And every time you do it to somebody, they step out. They're just going to step out because they can't help it because their body's just turned to the side. And that's probably my favorite move. I've only accomplished it in tournaments twice. It's not easy.
Arm force out. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, so like so that's probably my favorite way to wrestling if I can wrestle any way I want to. I've been told by somebody that I look like Ichinojo when I wrestle. Where I'm
wonder who that was.
Instead of active, and he's right. I need to start being a little bit more active when I'm wrestling because being reactive, you're always on the edge trying to like come back instead of like just driving someone out fast.
But he is one of the top ranked wrestlers.
He's really good.
It's not an insult, that's for sure.
No, that was
it
not
wasn't an
meant
insult.
as
I
an
didn't find it an insult, but I was thinking to myself, do I react instead of act? And I watched the film and I was like, he's right. I react.
Sorry.
No, I want people to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, when you only got like 5 or so seconds to do your thing, you got to make sure that you're making the most of it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
No,
Well, actually,
fun.
I think it goes back to practice, because practice, like I said, I don't want to drive people out really fast. So coming off hitting some people really hard is probably where I do it. But when you practice a certain way, you just kind of do it, even when you don't mean to. So that might be an issue that I have to work on personally.
So you mentioned it's really been in the last couple of years that it's taken off and been more accessible and stuff like that for watching pro sumo. Would you say the same for like competing in amateur sumo around the US? Is that something that you've been seeing a lot more of recently?
Yes, especially in my home state here in Texas. We did something in Texas. I'll break it down as easily and quickly as I can. Okay, so in Florida, there's multiple clubs, but they're Florida Sumo. Right. In Georgia, I think there's 3 clubs now. Maybe they're going to try probably get a 4th or something like that.
Yep.
But they're still Georgia Sumo. Same thing of Ohio Sumo. Texas used to be Lone Star Sumo, which is why I named my YouTube channel after that. It's Lone Star Sumo. And then when we broke into littler clubs, it just grew, because suddenly this is if you're in Austin, I'm a Dark Circle Sumo person, or I'm a Dallas Sumo person, or and we still root for Texas. We're still all about Texas guys when we go in nationals and stuff. But because of our own friendly rivalries that we get in our state, it makes it grow faster. There's so many people now who come up to me in Texas and say, I started wrestling because I saw you wrestle on television and on YouTube. And I was like, I got to get in the ring and see if I can take this guy. I've had multiple people tell me that. I've had multiple people go up to Justin and says, yeah, dude, I just like watching you wrestle. And I want to see if I can take you. And it became a thing, and it's growing. I hope it keeps growing. It seems fun.
So do we.
We hope to have 4 tournaments next year.
Wow.
1 in each of the major cities. That's what we kind of want to do every year for the Texas State Championships. And so the competition is what makes it grow. And I think that's going to work. Florida had a tournament this year, their first one. So if they have a couple,
Iron Belly.
Yeah, hopefully I can make it the next one. I really would like to make it out. California's breaking up into smaller clubs too. So I think they're going to start growing really fast as well. And I think it's going to keep happening. You start off as a state, you start growing, and then you break into littler ones, which you are competing against each other, and then you compete nationally. And I think it's going to start off. Also, we're getting some younger people. We get people like Jordan Sykes, who is amazing.
Holy crap.
And that also helps. And we're going to work on that. Me and Justin Kizer's been working on trying to get a way to get younger people in. And I believe Ohio did that. Jake Book had a whole youth thing. So it's great. I love this. I love that it's growing. I hope we can keep it going. It's hard to keep momentum going, but if we can, maybe we can compete in like Worlds.
But you're alluding to this, and I love it, but it sounds like there's a really fantastic community on the USA Sumo side. Everybody's talking with each other. I mean, you're talking with Ohio Sumo, you're talking with Kisser down at Dark Circle, you're talking about the guys over in Florida. It sounds like it's a really awesome, close-knit community of people that just want to participate and grow the sport. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's great. I get hit up from people all the time. Angel in California sometimes talks to me about stuff. Kyle Federer from Colorado, messaged me sometimes because we got mad at him the other day because he came to Texas to do judo championships and didn't tell us until the day of, and we were like, we would have driven and watched it, man. What was that about? But I didn't think about that. We were like, come on, man, let us know. But it's very supportive, and I love that about it. And it's hard to find in combat sports and martial arts. Martial arts is sometimes hard to find because people argue about which martial arts is better than other martial arts. Combat sports is hard to find because a lot of people try to like psych themselves up, like I hate this other person, so I must beat them. And then sumo, anyone who watched it knows, like as soon as someone wins or loses, they're helping the other person up, and afterwards they're talking to them about what they did, and it makes you feel like you're part of something, and that's a big thing for most people.
Yeah. I definitely have gotten that vibe in like the short amount of time that we have been involved here personally, but it absolutely seems that regardless of team, everything is still on like a growing, a small enough scale that everybody is on the same team.
Yes.
You know, we're all just kind of, we're subdivided because we don't all live in the same city and stuff, but you know, everybody's on the same team for the sport. Yeah.
Yeah, we're competitors, but as soon as we're outside the ring, it's like, all right, we got this. We're comrades.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
That's
and like
really
I try
cool.
to tell a lot of people, we try to make each other better, because if they're better in the ring, then we have to get better to beat them again. And that's going to just raise the whole thing. Because I think a lot of us we don't like the fact that we're not considered good in the world stage anymore. And we've had the few professionals back in the day. We had Manny win a championship in the mid-90s, but for the most part, we just haven't been very good on the world stage, you know, and we want that so bad, the people in sumo. We want to get to that point, you know, so we need tournaments. We need people to get out and involved. We need younger people, and we need women outside just Texas and California. We need women freaking competing.
We got Eros. Eros is definitely spearheading that.
Yeah, no, yeah. We got Eros, and she's awesome. But man, I feel like we should have more. Like, I can't seem to get it. I got like 10 I get like 10 freaking women in Texas, and I can't get more than like 3 to show up for a tournament.
That's right. Caleb's calling you out.
Yep.
I am.
Heard it here, folks.
To their face. They know
Absolutely. Good. Oh man. Hey, one more quick note on you personally that I thought was kind of funny. And this is totally a selfish topic for me to bring up, because my other hobby is movies, watching and analyzing and stuff like that. And I just discovered like today that you are just like a filmmaker. Like that's just like your hobby, right?
No way.
Yeah, I've been writing since I was a kid, and I couldn't never really get anything published and stuff. So some friends of mine back in, oh my gosh, 2009, I want to say, were like, hey, yeah, we make some movies. We need some scripts. You want to write some stuff for us? So I wrote some scripts. And then after a while, I started directing movies. And then I started doing the editing and cinematography of films. I won 48-hour film festival. I won best director in 2012. You know, I've done a lot of that stuff. I really enjoy it. I haven't been doing much lately. I wish I could, but sometimes you just run out of time, and I'm trying to qualify for Worlds in sumo. So,
oh yeah, I mean, you got priorities.
You got priorities. But I mean, I'll always come back to it, because I also like use a lot of the film stuff in sumo. I get to make videos and stuff, and people talk to me all the time like, "Yeah, that's amazing to edit videos." And I was like, "Yeah, well, it's just I learned it to make films, so it wasn't hard to do that stuff."
Yep.
But yeah, it's things I love. Yeah, I love making films, and I love. I think I fell in love with films because I grew up on what is now Riff Tracks, which was at the time Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Nice.
So it's like bad movies. If you understand bad movies, you gotta learn how to make a movie.
Yeah.
And how hard it is, and all the things need to go correct, and so I just love it. I love the movies. Yeah. It's fun.
No, I'm with you there. I just thought that was such a funny coincidence coming across that, and yeah, no, I that's super cool. I love learning about what everybody who's in sumo is kind of a weirdo on their own anyway. Certainly on our side, so
eclectic,
like you gotta
eclectic,
eccentric, yeah,
eccentric. Okay.
So like, you guys, I have a question for y'all.
All right.
So none of y'all do sumo yourselves. Y'all don't get in the ring and wrestle. It's fine.
Uh-oh.
I understand.
Hey, I already brought up featherweight weight class. I have a fake excuse.
How about this though? At some point, y'all should throw y'all's own sumo tournament. GSB championships or something like that.
Yeah, we just learned about there's a club in Minneapolis that we haven't interacted with much yet. There's Robert in Kansas City. Do you know if there's much of presence in like Chicago area? Because like those are like the 3 big areas that could.
If you watch the Mighty Eagle team tournament, the guy who was on my team, the first guy, Geraldo, he's from Chicago.
Very cool.
Oh, awesome.
He couldn't find any sumo in Chicago, so he wanted to learn. So he came down that week, took a practice with us that Tuesday, and then started wrestling with us on Saturday. I needed
that's awesome.
Person.
Yeah, he did really well.
He did really well, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, Chicago. There we go. So yeah, I'm telling you, throw a tournament. I can probably convince most of the Texas guys to show up.
All right.
That'd be hilarious. Yeah, we'd
find a place to do it. Y'all can run it. Y'all can do y'all's commentary and stuff. And
Ooh.
one of y'all can be Goji or something. And
Uh-oh.
with the white suit, with the little black tie.
Caleb knows our weakness. It's flattery.
Like, crap, this isn't good.
All right. Well, before you let us get our heads too big on this idea here, why don't you tell us a little bit about your club, where to find you, where to find your guys, and you know, what else people should know about you guys before Vegas.
All right. So we are the Mighty Eagle Sumo Club. We are from San Antonio, Texas. We are run by Tom Zabel. He has 30 years of sumo experience. So if you want to learn sumo, there's few places better than coming to San Antonio, Texas. We also have the only female black belt in the United States, and she just became a second degree.
Mighty Mouse.
The Mighty Mouse herself, Jessica Hopper. Yes. Sadly, she will not be competing because she got herself pregnant this year.
Selfish.
We're gonna have at least 3 girls there, maybe 4, and we're gonna kick some butt. We're gonna have more than one person qualify for Worlds. I promise you that. We're gonna do that. Excellent. We're gonna do it, and we're gonna show up at Worlds, and we're gonna kick some butt. That's what we're gonna do.
I love that confidence.
Yep. Also on YouTube, you guys have Lone Star Sumo.
Yes.
You got some. Yeah, you guys have like tournament videos on that channel too.
Yes, I have a bunch of tournament videos on there. I try to get practices from all over Texas. I've been trying lately to add in like personal videos that highlight stuff of certain people. Like I did Goddess of Sumo, the Eros Armstrong video that was very popular. The Mighty Mouse video with Jessica Hopper. I'm gonna keep trying to do those, along with other little things, just little things, because I want to personalize these wrestlers. You know, I got rivalries on there, which another video I think next weekend's gonna come out with rivalries. And we're just starting a new podcast, me and Justin Kizer, where we talk about professional sumo, got sake and sumo, where we get drunk on sake and just talk about sumo for a while.
I like it.
It's,
right.
That's a hobby that we're hoping spreads around, because we
Yes.
we are devotees of the idea.
And the sake. All the sake.
Yeah, Texas sake is where it's at, right? That's some good sake right there. Who knew when you made it fresh, it just was better somehow. It just is.
That was, oh man, yeah, that was one of the highlights for sure when we came to Austin to visit you guys for nationals. Was
Yes.
afterwards we just all hung out and had excellent fresh sake. It was
right.
It was awesome. Yeah.
Yes, I still remember y'all. Y'all were feeling good.
I was flushed.
Oh man, no, that was so fun, because we are very natural introverts, and like, you know, we go to visit a tournament and all of a sudden we have to like meet new people, and it's, oh no.
Yeah, but you know what helps that? Alcohol.
Sake.
Yes.
Nagori Ginjo.
Sake is gonna get you out your shell. That's real fast right there.
Damn right. Well, thanks so much for joining us, Caleb. Again, the North American Sumo Championships in Las Vegas, December 11th. If you're a big enough loser that you're not going to travel there physically, you can watch it on YouTube. That's fine. But,
Okay.
But no, Grand Sumo Breakdown will be doing ringside commentary on that. And our fellow podcaster Sumo Kaboom will be doing the online live stream commentary. But make sure not to miss that. Find Grand Sumo Breakdown on all your social media junk. You know where to find us if you're already watching this. And I guess we'll see you next time. We'll have more interviews coming up with other wrestlers and other figures going to Vegas this year. Thanks again for joining us, Caleb.
Thanks, Caleb.
You have a great day here.
Thank you for listening to Grand Sumo Breakdown. Until next time,
Throw your salt high.
and keep moving forward.